Hi everyone, welcome to practice. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Anna. This is AWH Yoga. So tonight's flow is brand new and I'm very excited to share it with you. And I also wanted to share something that just happened to me in case it might resonate with you or you want to take through your practice. So I was getting ready and I put on these other leggings and they're really cute and fabulous and amazing, but just they weren't feeling right. And I finally was stuck between trying something new and just going back to something that I really liked, and I put my blue ones on and I said, yeah, these are more me anyway. And then I stopped when I heard myself say, these are more me. And I started really thinking about that phrase, and I was like, yeah, like where in my life can I be more me? So maybe something to think about as we move through our practice tonight. Where in your practice can you be more of you? Where can you show up more for yourself? So we're going to get started in just a moment. I want you to remember to stay safe. We're going to be working into some back bends today and then moving through bow and possibly dancer pose as well, depending on how I do with my time. So we want to make sure that we get really open and really warm, but please listen to your body and take it easy, and I will offer some modifications along the way if those work for you. We are going to get started this evening lying on the back. So find your way to your mat and lie on your back. As you come down to your mat, maybe you realize this is the first time all day that you just sort of have the permission to be still. And I am upping that permission level and saying that you can be still in body and work to be still in your mind. Know that working toward a still mind is a journey and a battle every day for all of us. Even those who meditate frequently, they of course also have the occasional running lists and worries and anxieties. But right now I say turn down the volume on all of that. And just turn up the volume on the observation of your breath. Begin to tune inward by bringing your circle of awareness of all sounds and sensations really close to the body. Let the world melt away. Let your mind work towards stillness and let your breath guide you there. I want you to think about why you came to your mat tonight as you continue to notice your breath. Maybe you lengthen your inhales and your exhales just a little bit now. Maybe centering on that intention or vow, making it simple and possible, as if you could hold it right here with you. And let's all seal those intentions with a breath together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, soft sigh out of the mouth. Beautiful. So we're slowly going to bring some movement into the body. If you have your blocks close by, those might aid you in this next part of our journey. So first I want you to just bring your feet flat to the floor, so knees facing toward the sky. And then maybe you move your back just a little bit to kind of notice when that lower back is flatter on the floor. Maybe you were using some props in our beginning pose and you've moved those out of the way safely. We're going to actually start with a little bit of a bridge pose. So to prepare for bridge pose, I want you to gently draw the navel to the spine. Feel that lower back drawing down, and then go ahead and release that. Maybe on your next inhale, try that again. So draw the navel toward the spine, and then exhale. Really subtle. Keep doing that just a few more times, just to feel that difference. Feel what engages in the legs. Feel the difference in how much your body is touching the floor. Maybe notice if you're pressing down through your feet. And just that subtle engagement, sort of keep that in mind as we move into this next posture. Placing your palms flat on the floor, and they can sort of be, reaching toward your heels, but certainly don't have to be touching your heels. And your heels can be a good hand, maybe or two, away from your butt. You don't have to be close, and you don't want them to be too much of an angle. So kind of find that comfortable spot where the low of your back can be flat on the floor. And then on your next inhale, I want you to go ahead and prepare. Inhale. And then on your exhale, maybe draw belly button up, lifting the hips toward the sky. Bridge pose. Pressing down through the tops of the back of the shoulders, keeping that neck long, and then bringing it back down. So let's improve the breath there and just do an inhale when we rise up. So on your next breath, inhale, pressing down through the feet, working the hips up, keeping the spine long, and then exhaling back down. Slow and steady. Let's do 3 more rounds like that on your own breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. One more like this. Getting to know your breath, getting to know your body. Pressing down through your hands. We still have our hands helping. And then our next exhale, relax. And now we're going to actually just gently kind of windshield wiper the legs. So when you do this, you basically are getting a little bit of mobility in the hips, and you're going to take both knees and move them to one side and then the other, trying to keep your back on the floor. So you don't want your hips to kind of go all the way over. Just gently rock side to side. Super gentle here, just getting started. And then coming back to center. And now we're going to involve the arms as well. So continuing to warm up the body and engage different parts as we continue down our journey. So pressing through your feet, and on your inhale, lifting your hips up and then reaching your arms back behind you. So looking straight up toward the ceiling, you don't want to be turning left and right. And then on your exhale, bringing your palms back down to where they were when we started our bridge pose. So inhale, hands go back, tops of the hands touches the floor, and then back down. Exhale, palms next to your hips. 3 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Try to focus on keeping those hips nice and neutral. Knees are tracking forward, and then making sure you're pressing down through all 4 corners of the feet evenly. I notice for me, the outside of my feet kind of take all the brunt, and I forget to focus on the inner part of my foot. Exhale, coming back down. Really nice. Bring the knees into the chest, and we're going to gently rock and roll up just a few times, and then we're going to get into our tabletop. So you can clasp the front of your knees or behind your thighs, and you want to think round spine, and then get all of that spine on the floor if you can. 2 more like this. Oh, I got a nice pop out of that one. And then when you're ready, coming back up, crossing the legs, pressing over the legs, and moving into your tabletop or all fours position. So when you're in all fours, first take a moment to notice all the points that are touching the ground, so the points of foundation. You always want to do your notice the foundation and alignment first in every posture. So in training, we talked about align, stabilize, and elongate, so ASE. So first thing you got to do in any yoga posture is arrive there and align the bones and the body parts. So that's what we're doing first here. So we're going to first do our positioning, wrists directly under our shoulders, knees directly under our hips. So we don't want to be parallelogram, we want to be a square, and then pressing down gently through the tops of the feet, so feeling that engagement. As you press down, also open that chest, lengthen the spine, and aiming for that as flat as possible back. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, soft sigh out of the mouth. Nice. Now from here, I'm going to move back a little bit. We're going to move into some dynamic cat-cow, moving kind of forward, but we're going to start that in just a moment. So first, let's do just 3 rounds of traditional cat-cow. So drop your belly, chest and chin toward the sky. If you know where you're going, just go for it. Exhale, reverse that, drawing the navel toward the spine, really feeling the breath fill up the upper back, and then back down. Inhale, chest and chin up, and exhale, reverse that. Still squeezing everything in toward the midline, still pressing down through the tops of the feet gently. Don't want to lose that engagement. Exhale, hollowing cat, pressing down through your hands, and then back to neutral. And move about a hand and a half forward. And we're going to try something a little bit different today. So getting ready to warm up our spine for our back bends, we're going to gently sort of move through, kind of like you're going into your cobra pose, but be super gentle with yourself. So kind of a knees tabletop, and then gently opening the chest, feeling that strength generating in the back of the body. And then I want you to come all the way back to a child's pose. So you can choose to move your knees out at this point or kind of keep them closer together. We're going to do this in a dynamic motion, so figure out whatever's easier, but we're going to go really slowly. So again, hands out, kind of moving through, figure out where your body needs to be, give yourself enough space, and then on your exhale, back down to pretty much a child's pose. You can kind of keep your head up if you want to prepare, and keep going with that. Inhale. And then exhale, back down, modified child's pose. Nice, inhale. And exhale. Each time, are you getting a little more sort of lubrication in the spine, a little more length, getting a little more comfortable with the movement as your body learns the movement. Let's do 2 more like that. I'm getting some opening in the shoulders. Really extend. When you get back into your child's pose, if you're feeling good, drop in. 1 more like that. And through child's pose. And then coming back into your tabletop. So from here, we're actually going to move onto the belly. So on your tabletop, you can kind of press forward again. If you're comfortable, squeeze those elbows in like you're doing chaturanga, and then kind of come down all the way to your belly, or however you want to get there. So once you find yourself on your belly, you can notice if you feel comfortable looking down to your mat and putting your chin on the mat. If you put your forehead on the mat, you can see you get some of that neck lengthening, but it might be a little more challenging to pick your head up. So just play with that and see what feels the most comfortable for you. So take your palms and place them down by your sides. Notice that for a moment. It doesn't have to be touching the body, but pretty close. And then press down through the top of the feet, get some engagement in the legs. Feel that activation in the glutes and the hamstrings and the calves. Keeping your chin on the floor. Take a deep breath in to prepare. And then on your exhale, lift everything up on the front body. So just lift up your chin and your chest, keeping your hands down, pressing down through the hands if possible to get a little more lift. 1 more breath. And then back down. Nice. So bringing your hands up next to your shoulders, pressing the palms to the earth. And you're going to use a little bit more of the hands here, but you have that motion now where you're using that upper back and getting that back bend to go up. So take a deep breath, inhale to prepare. On your exhale, lifting up, press through the hands, but still just press the chest and head up. Press down to the tops of the feet, keep that engagement. 1 more breath. And then exhale back down. Nice. This time, let's sort of make a goalpost arms, but then do sort of cupcake fingers. So we're gonna do the same thing again, engagement in the legs, chin toward the mat, deep breath in. And on your exhale, come up, pressing up gently. Could you get a little more lift this time? Deep breath in. And then exhale out. Nice. I'm gonna do 1 more like that. So inhale to prepare. Keep your cupcake fingers. Exhale, lift up. And then pressing back down. Turn your right cheek toward the mat. Release the posture of your hands. Place them in whatever's comfortable for you. Release the legs. Kind of wiggle everything out. If you want to, you can bend your knees and do a little bit of windshield wiper this way. So just moving the legs side to side, reversing what we did in the beginning after our bridge pose, and then come back to stillness. And now we're going to move into cobra or upward dog. So placing your hands, for me, sort of the top of my rib cage and then out slightly based on the way my body's put together, but you really think about where you're going to go. You're going to go into upward dog or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. So you're really going to be all the way up there. So make sure you have your hands positioned, pressing down through all of those. You can use your feet to press up, especially if you're going to stay there, but you want to draw everything into the midline and then pressing up, getting that back bend. 2 breaths. For me, I noticed that as soon as I did this, my hands were a little bit too far forward. Feel free to make the adjustments. We're going to do one more after this. Coming back down gently. Deep breath in, release the hands, left cheek to the mat. Deep breath in, exhale out, and turning back to center. So now my body learned that my hands were a little bit too high. What did your body learn? Where can you be a little bit more you in this posture? Squeezing those elbows in, and then inhale to prepare, and then exhale coming up. We're just using inhales and exhales here just because. You can do whatever you like. And if you were choosing to go into full upward dog, that means your knees and thighs are off the ground and just the tops of your feet are there. When you're ready, exhale and come back down through the knees into a knees tabletop position and then back down to wide-legged child's pose. So drawing your hips down to your heels, bringing your knees to the edges of your mat if you can, and then dropping all the way in for child's pose. I'm going to take 2 breaths here. Breathing in through the back body. I want you to really think about what it feels like as you expand the back of your body. 1 more breath. Exhale out. We already did those cupcake fingers. We're going to keep those going. So sometimes I say to crawl and keep yourself flat on the ground, but here we're going to slowly go to the left, but keep those cupcake fingers and keep engagement in the arms. So strong arms, crawling over to the left. Keep your hips on your heels, and then stretch through that right side body. 2 breaths here. Maybe you get 1 breath and you want to creep a little more and get a little more space. Nice. Coming back to center and then reversing that, so going to the other side. Again, hips are staying down low. As soon as your hips start to pop up, just bring it back a little bit. Stretching over to the right side, feeling the space you create. Yoga is all about creating space in the body. We always say holding space for each other. Just think about that as you move through your practice. 1 more breath. And exhale, coming back to center. And then I want you to come up into your tabletop, or if you want to just move yourself through kind of a dynamic, if you're ready for an upward dog or chaturanga already, you can go for it. I'm going to go from tabletop, and then I'm going to curl both my toes under, hover for just a moment, squeezing everything toward the midline, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, our first one of the day, could be the first one of your week. So really take it seriously. Take this downward dog as seriously as your first sip of coffee, or sometimes maybe first sip of your favorite alcoholic beverage at 5:01 p.m. your time. Keep those legs going. Keep giving that movement the respect, giving your body the respect to move. Nice. Now what I want you to do for just a moment, so come to stillness, externally rotating those outer upper arms, pulling the pressure out of the hands. If you externally rotate the outer upper arms and focus there, it takes all the weight out of your hands, because this can be a lot for the wrists. Keeping your knees gently bent, and then I want you to step outside your mat. So step off your mat with your legs. So super wide down dog. Hopefully you're not practicing on a super slippery floor next to you. So from here, I just want you to notice the difference. So for me, instantly, I wanted to push my heels down. Things were sort of compensating differently, but really keep down dog in the upper body, keeping those knees gently bent if you need to, just noticing the difference. Take a couple breaths here. Nice. Then bring your hands about a half a hand print in, and then take your right palm, and we're going to be just on 3 points, and stretch it back towards your left ankle. So you're reaching your right hand toward the outside of your left ankle, getting a twist, and your gaze should be kind of looking past, almost underneath your left armpit if you can. 2 breaths here. Feeling that smooth breath in this strange posture. And then gently bringing that right hand back. Just take a 1 breath to reset. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Other side. So again, we've got our feet off the mat, kind of like we're in a wide-legged forward fold with our legs. Take the left hand and reach it back toward the right ankle on the outside. Now, if this is a lot for you, you can certainly just reach toward. So for me, this side's super tight. I'm actually just gonna reach toward my right leg and really just thinking about rotating my torso, kind of imagining what's happening with my, sort of my belly button and my torso, even though I'm not looking at it. And then maybe you just work to get the gaze under that right armpit. 1 more breath. And then gently coming back from your twist. Really, really nice. Okay, pressing through the hands, bring those feet back to normal downward dog and kind of feel the difference there. Nice neutral hips. Everything's just sort of kind of boring now, right after we did that one. Inhale, look forward between your hands, half step or float to the front of your mat, land in your halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold, ragdoll. So I want you to take both elbows clasped if you can. Great place for blocks if ragdoll seems like a million miles away for you. Blocks are used to bring the earth to us in this posture. So if you have your blocks handy, you can really just get close down, keeping that length in the spine, and remembering that you don't have to be folding in half to get the full benefits of this posture. 1 more breath here. And really sinking in. And then exhale, release your hands down. And then I want you to take your right leg and you're actually going to cross it behind your left leg. So you want to kind of have your pinky toes touching. Be gentle with yourself. This can be pretty intense. And then we're going to sort of refold forward. So lengthen and lift. And then exhale, fold forward. So feel the difference here between our traditional forward fold and the sensations that you're getting here. If this is too much for you, you can also just bend 1 knee. So for this one, you would kind of, bend the left knee and just sort of feel what it's like when you have the weight sort of distributed differently and 1 knee bent. Keeping your feet together without crossing them. 1 more breath. Exhale, and gently bring that right foot back, straighten both legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, other side. So take that left foot and then bring it out behind your right foot so that your pinky toes are touching, but now your left foot is on the right side of your mat. And then think about that for a minute. And then deep breath, inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. So you should be getting a stretch in sort of that IT band on the left side. And just a little bit different. For me, my right knee is bent pretty significantly and my chest is really on my thigh. You can release the head if that's comfortable for you. Think long spine and move with your breath as you lengthen and lift. Inhale and then coming back to center, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold, and then slowly and carefully rolling up 1 notch at a time, coming back where your head is coming up absolutely last. And then inhale your arms up above. Exhale, hands through heart center, and then releasing them down by your side in our mountain pose. So here in our mountain pose, we're gonna do a little bit of a back bend, and then we're gonna start doing a little bit of some sun A's. So inhale, both arms up, and then grab your left wrist and stretch over to the right side, getting that stretch in the left side body. Just 1 breath here. And then both arms up, inhale, exhale. Clasping your right wrist, other side. Getting a little bit of stretch here, just a little bit more mobility for the spine. And just to kind of get it ready, I got a nice pop out of that. Inhale. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can place your hands behind your back, kind of like in your jean pockets, or you can place your hands on your hips as we move through a very gentle back bend. So something to think about as we move through this is that we're not sticking everything out. So the back bend is really coming from your upper back. So you might not go very far as you open the chest and arch that upper back. So inhale, and then kind of think you're just bending over just bending over the top of a wall. Inhale. And then just gentle, looking straight up. This is super energizing, so take your time. And then coming back. Deep breath in. Exhale out. So shake that out for a second. And I notice that when I do that posture, I always hold my breath. So I want to ask you to notice of yourself, are you doing the same thing? Let's try it one more time, and let's try to have 2 really smooth breaths there. And maybe we don't go as far. Maybe the fact that we're holding our breath tells us to come back a little bit. So keep that in mind as we move through it. So hands on your hips or in your jean pockets, whatever's comfortable for you. Inhale, and then gentle bend. Or can you breathe? And then carefully coming back. Inhale. Exhale. Really nice. Okay, so we're going to move into our sun A's. So coming to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, down through plank pose. And then squeezing those elbows in, dropping the knees or not, pitching forward, halfway down, Chaturanga or into your upward dog or cobra. Back through. And then looking forward after you're in your downward dog, looking forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana, arms above your head. Exhale, hands to heart center, and down by your side. Okay, let's modify and play with that a little bit. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step your right foot back, pause. And then drop your right knee down and make sure your left knee's tracking over that left ankle. And then rise up, Anjaneyasana. 2 breaths here. Feeling that stretch in the hip flexors, lowering the shoulders into a relaxed posture. Pinkies kind of toward each other. 1 more breath. And then on your exhale, hands frame your left foot and then pushing back, straighten your left knee, half split. You might have to move your leg over a little bit, but try not to move it back. Try to just sort of keep it where it is and let the stretch happen there. 1 more breath. Exhale out, pressing back through the left foot, so going back into your sort of low lunge, and then coming off that right knee, stepping the left foot to meet the right, and then moving through your Chaturanga. Remember, when I say your Chaturanga, that means you can do knees down, you can do normal Chaturanga Dandasana, you can do one-legged, you can go straight to downward dog, whatever you want. Deep breath in, downward dog. Exhale, look forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands through heart center. Down by your side, other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the floor. Step your left foot back and pause. In your low lunge, get your right ankle under that right knee. Drop the left knee down, uncurl the toes, lifting up. Anjaneyasana, other side. Left hip flexor stretch. Keep that right knee over the right ankle. Soft shoulders, open chest. 1 more breath. On your exhale, try to leave your foot there. Straighten that right leg, coming back, weight into the left hip, but then pull that right hip back too. So you don't want that to kind of pop out. So pulling that right hip back, feeling that stretch. 2 breaths here. Nice, 1 more breath. And then on your exhale, coming back forward, coming off that left knee, curling the toes under, popping that right foot to meet the left, your Chaturanga. Keeping those elbows squeezed in tight, moving through your back bend. We're already doing lots of back bends. Meeting me in downward facing dog. Inhale, looking forward between your palms, hop, step, or float in front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. In your Urdhva Hastasana, clasp your left wrist and stretch over to the right. One breath. And exhale, back to center. Grab your right wrist, stretching over to the other side. And then back to center. Hands in your jean pockets. Take a deep breath in. Gentle back bend. And exhale forward. Arms up, inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. And down by your side. Nice, let's move through that one more time. I'm going to move through putting up my hair. And probably should do a costume change, but probably won't. All right, top of your mat. Same sequence again for our modified sun A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the floor. Step your right foot back and pause. And then drop your right knee down. Make sure that left ankle and left knee are lined up. Inhale. Let's do one breath here. And then exhale, hands frame the left foot, straightening the left knee. Try to keep it there. And then pulling that left hip back. One breath here. Exhaling back to your lunge. Bringing that right knee up. Bringing the left to meet the right, your chaturanga. Inhaling Urdhva or Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, look forward between your palms. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Land in halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. And down by your side. Nice. Other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the floor. Step your left foot back. Pause. Drop your left knee. Uncurl your toes. Anjaneyasana, other side. Inhale. Exhale, hands frame the right foot. Straighten that right knee. Try to keep everything there. Figure out what's kind of shifting around. One breath. Exhale. Coming back to center, lifting that left knee up, right foot meets left, your chaturanga. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, looking forward between your palms. Hops up or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, clasp your left wrist, stretching over to that right side. One breath. Exhale. Other side, clasping your right wrist, stretching over. Exhale. And now jean pockets, gentle back bend, inhale. Exhale, maybe here. Your breath is your guide. Coming back to center, arms up, inhale. Exhale through heart center, down by your side. Nice, let's keep moving. I'm going to check my time because I'm doing that thing where I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we go. So we're going to move into some sun Bs, keep the energy going, and keep our theme of back bends going. So here we go. Of course, take a pause and drink some water, whatever you need, and we'll be waiting for you when you get back. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. So I like to keep my feet hips width distance apart. Weights in the heels, you should be able to move your toes freely. Make sure those knees are tracking over that center toe. You don't want your knees out or facing in. Drop the weight down. Hands can be in prayer or biceps to the ears, soft shoulders. One more breath. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, stepping right foot and left foot through your plank pose. Move through your chaturanga dandasana. Meet us in downward facing dog. Deep breath in, exhale out, lift that right leg up, hip height. Now curl the knee in, bring it to the right tricep or right elbow. Nice. Leg goes back to three-legged dog and then curl that knee in, left elbow, left tricep. Nice. Leg goes back up and now come to the center. Bring your knee to your nose and do a Halloween cat in your back. So pressing through the hands, super, super, super strong. And then bring that right foot down between your hands. And we're gonna move into our crescent lunge. So neutral hip still, not warrior one where we drop our foot, but lifting up crescent lunge. So in your crescent lunge, find enough room for your hips. Hips have two lanes, right knee, right ankle, alignment. Remember, align first, and then we can stabilize. So we gotta make sure the bones and the body parts are in the right place. One more breath in your crescent lunge. And then exhale, hands to heart center. And then we're going to shift forward and go into a super gentle twist. Now you could drop your left palm and extend the right arm up. Deep breath in. And then you can bring your right hand back down, stepping your right foot back, moving through your chaturanga. Exhaling back down to downward facing dog. Nice. Deep breath in. Exhale out, left leg up. Inhale. Knee to your left tricep or elbow. And then back to three-legged dog. Inhaling, bringing that over to your right tricep. And then back to your three-legged dog. Inhale, knee to nose and hold. Hold it. Super Halloween cat, pressing through the hands and then dropping it down and coming up into our crescent lunge. Let's take 2 breaths here in crescent lunge. First time we've been on this side in this position. And then exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Feel that engagement in the back right leg. And then gentle twist. You can drop your right palm, twisting open to the left. Take a nice deep breath here. And then exhale, bringing your hand back down so that you're facing neutral again. And then popping your left leg back and moving through your chaturanga. And meeting me in downward facing dog. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold into sun B. So come up to your Utkatasana chair pose. Weights in the heels, squeezing everything in. 1 breath here. On your exhale, straighten your legs, arms go up, and then bring your hands back through heart center and down by your side for mountain pose. Okay, so that was the slow version of a variation of what we're gonna do next. So we're gonna do 2 or possibly 3 of these, and we're gonna add a little bit of balancing into this. So we're just gonna add on after the part where we do the twist, come back to neutral, and go into our standing split. So let's go. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Move a little faster this time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back right and left, moving through your chaturanga. I am super sore today, so I am taking it easy. That's what more of me means today. More of me means doing less chaturangas. Lift your right leg up, hip height. Right knee, right tricep. Exhale, back to three-legged dog. Inhale, right knee, left tricep. Exhale, back to three-legged dog. Right knee to nose. Halloween cat, drop that leg down, coming up through your crescent pose. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center, pitching forward, gentle twist. 1 breath here. Exhale. Now from here, this is where the change is. So here you're in your crescent. You can, from your crescent twist, your simple twist, excuse me, down to your low lunge. And now bend your back knee to get a little bit of kind of oomph going. And you're going to place your hands forward and step into your standing split. So everything, all the weight is in your right leg. So 1 breath here, keeping those toes pointing toward the ground. Exhale. Nice. Now stepping back into your crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up, full crescent. And then exhale, back down, right meets left, your chaturanga. Nice. Meet me in downward facing dog. And get ready to move through the other side. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Lift that left leg up strong. Inhale, knee goes to the left tricep. Exhale, back through three-legged dog. Inhale, knee goes to right tricep. Back to three-legged dog. Engage that core, knee to nose. Pressing through the upper back. Feel the breath, feel the strength. Dropping that foot down, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. Pitching forward. Dropping that right hand down, pulling that left hip back. You can even pull it back. Inhale that arm up, 1 breath. And then exhale, hands down, moving into that standing split on the other side. So palms go a couple hand places in front of you, lifting up into standing split with neutral hips. 1 breath here. Exhale, back down, crescent lunge, inhale, and then back down through your version of the chaturanga. Nice. And downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Look forward between your palms. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Just kidding, we skipped it. Go to chair pose, Utkatasana. And then coming up, straighten the legs. Exhale, hands through heart center. down by your side. Okay, let's check our time. I think we can do that definitely one more time. So after our twist, coming back to neutral, stepping up into that standing split, back through our crescent lunge. Let's take a clearing breath together. I know I need one. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. So remember that when you sigh out of your mouth, you're sort of letting the heat out. That's what I definitely needed to do right then. I probably need to go get a tank top. And when you want to keep the heat in, that's where you can do your Ujjayi pranayama, restricting the back of the throat and keeping the lips pursed. But let's do one more clearing breath and let the heat out. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Always available to you in yoga, in work meetings, wherever you want. All right, top of the mat, here we go. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank pose. Moving through your chaturanga, squeezing those elbows in, creating that back bend, coming back through downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Right knee, right tricep. Exhale, three-legged dog. Left knee, left tricep. Right knee, left tricep. Three-legged dog. You know where you're going. Inhale, knee to nose. Hold for just a moment. Feel strong. Get really high on the back of that left foot. Then drop that right knee down. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pitching forward, dropping that left hand down, twisting open, feeling that stretch in sort of that right outer hip. Exhale, back to neutral, popping up to that, I'm using my couch here, standing split, keeping those toes toward the ground. One more breath. Just as carefully coming back down into your crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, move through your chaturanga. Right leg meets left. Maybe you drop your knees. Maybe you add 3 push-ups. You pick your challenge level. You find out what is more of you in this flow, because this is for you. Downward facing dog, deep breath in. Exhale out. Left leg up, hip height. Left knee, left tricep. You know where you're going. Use your breath. Don't wait for me. Inhale, three-legged dog. Bringing that knee to the nose. Hold, pressing through your hands, super high on the ball. That right foot, keeping everything neutral, dropping it down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to heart center, pitching forward, dropping that right hand down, peeling open. One breath here. Exhale, down, standing split. Deep breath. Exhale, back through crescent pose. Inhale. And then down through your chaturanga, meeting me in downward facing dog. Nice. From your downward facing dog, looking forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. We won't forget it this time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Nice. Stay here in your chair pose for just a moment. One more breath. And then exhale, let it all go. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands go down. I'm going to want you to move into your version of either puppy or child's pose. So you can have legs wide, child's pose. You can have puppy, which means your knees will be under your hips. You can really get a stretch in that upper back. Hang out here for 3 to 5 breaths. Nice, and since we're already low to the ground, let's stay low. So find your way to your belly, maybe coming back up through tabletop, maybe kind of forearms down, whatever is comfortable for you. We're going to move into bow. So for Dhanurasana, this is going to be a pretty intense back opening. So it's certainly something that you can take 1/2 at a time, and you really just want to be mindful of strains and pain. So this is definitely a less or more. You can certainly get a lot out of this by working through the introductory components of this pose, so take it easy on yourself. So first thing we want to do is we're going to reach back to grab the inside, if possible, of both of your ankles. For me, this is extremely challenging after my workout this weekend. And you want to have neutral hips. So you don't want to have everything bowed out, even though this is called bow. You want to keep everything neutral. So you want to keep probably your forehead to the mat, reaching back. You can also use a strap for this. And you can also do one side at a time. But once you sort of have neutral hips, and your shoulders are back. You're gonna lift everything up. So very carefully, lifting up, feeling that opening in the chest, pressing back. Your feet are pressing into your hands. That's really what's lifting you up. Pressing through your hands. Take another deep breath. Come back down. Gently release everything. You can do another windshield wiper here. Take it easy. And for this next one, I'm just going to show you doing one half. For your next one at home, if you're ready to move into your second variation, go ahead and you can do the full expression. So doing one, you can keep, I sometimes keep my hand here, but you can sort of keep it wherever is comfortable. It can also be behind the body here, but we're just going to do one side. Now you want to think the same thing. You don't want to have that leg kind of being out. You got to imagine that everything else is still lined up. So keep engagement in that right leg. Maybe you press down gently through your palms when you have your sort of palms and forearm down, and then gently pressing up, feeling what it's like to have that foot pressing against the hand. That's what lifts you up. Feel that lift. And then exhale down. Beautiful. When you come back down, make your hands into a little pillow. You can put your right temple or left temple there, and then windshield wiper your legs. If you did just one side, please take an opportunity to do the other side so that you're even. And when you're all evened out, we will carefully come up and move into standing. So you can move through a chaturanga dandasana. I'm not doing that today. Or you can just make your way through maybe your downward facing dog, and then going forward, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold, coming back up and standing, or any variation that you would prefer to get to standing. So now we're going to work on dancer pose. So dancer is very similar to what we were doing, and this is a great opportunity to use a strap if you have one. But the way we're going to start is feet hips width distance apart, drawing your tailbone to the floor, kind of thinking about knitting your ribs together, opening your chest, soft shoulders. So good Tadasana. And then the way I learned this, which I think is still my favorite, is put your right arm out like you're holding a tray. So kind of directly flush with your body. And now you're going to put all the weight in your left leg, lift your right knee on your left foot, kind of a kickstand. And now we're going to aim, just like we did in bow pose, for the inside of our ankle or foot. Feel that expansion already happening in the chest. Now we don't want the leg out here. We want it pointing down. So first things first is really lining up neutral hips. Everything's parallel, which is challenging enough, right? Challenging enough. So from here, once that's kind of situated, you feel strong and stable, you're going to press back, just like we did in our bow pose, and you're also going to lean forward. So stretching that left arm out and keeping that right leg. And you want it to be behind the body. So mine is actually way too far out to the right. My body is only giving me so much today. But you want to think about keeping everything in a line. Play with that. Keep breathing. Pressing back through that hand. That's the lift that you get. And maybe you don't have your left arm out. Maybe it's on your, mine's really comfortable on my torso right now because I'm focusing on my back body. And whenever you're ready, gently coming back down, bringing those hips down. Maybe kind of windmill the arms a little bit. Not sure what kind of dance move this is. Shake it out, and we'll move to the other side. Okay, feet hips width distance apart. First things first, serving dinner, and then moving all the weight into your right leg, making everything neutral and strong. So first lifting that leg up, clasping the inside of that right ankle, and then stay here for a minute and figure this out, right? Align this first. And then, when you're ready, start. The first action you should think of is rooting down through your right foot and pressing the left leg. So it's not about tipping, it actually starts with the action of pressing. And that's what lifts you forward. Maybe your right arm is out, thumb to the sky. Taking a couple deep breaths in your beautiful dancer pose. And when you're ready, gently coming back down. Arm can go up wherever you go, but be gentle. Release, coming back down, that neutral posture. Maybe you wiggle out those arms again. Nice. Let's take a deep breath in together. Exhale, soft sigh. Great job, everybody. That was really intense. Very, very nice. Definitely an option to put a strap and kind of allow that. That's actually the full expression would be there. We're actually doing a modification of dancer, but super intense posture either way. So, and as you can probably feel in your energy levels right now, back bends are really energizing. So I definitely feel like I had an extra matcha or something. So nice job. Okay, let's keep going. So we're gonna come down to the mat. Let's just kind of get there easy style. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down. You can move through a chaturanga, but just find your way to downward facing dog. And after downward facing dog, drop your knees. We're gonna come into Sphinx pose. So coming down into your belly and then staying up on your forearms. So first, just think about pressing through your forearms, keeping your elbow and your shoulder at 90 degrees, broadening through that chest. And then what you want to imagine in Sphinx pose, and actually press down through the tops of your feet as well, just lightly, and keeping those legs coming straight out from the hip sockets, not out straight, not out to the sides. And then you want to kind of push down through the pelvic bone and then feel like you're gripping the mat toward you, and then just pull that in. So play with that for a minute, keeping your neck long. So you don't want to have your chin too far down. You don't have your chin too far back, just nice long neck. Maybe looking over just the tip of your yoga mat. One more breath. Nice, and then sort of release that. And then coming down, do a little bit of a shoulder opener. So keep the legs exactly the same. Outstretch your arms into a T, palms facing down. You can have your either cheek to the mat at this point. Actually, probably your right cheek to the mat for now. And then pressing down through your right hand, we're gonna lift the left hand up, move that toward the body, peel open so that you're gonna be stretching that right shoulder, sort of that right pec, and then bend the left knee. See if you can place it behind that right leg. Keep engagement in the right leg. For me, this is super intense today. For you, it might be as well. If it's not intense enough, you can feel free to lift that left arm up, which I can't really show you, and maybe even internally rotating and going for that bind, or you can be folding all the way over and reaching that left arm toward the floor on the other side. Wherever you are is a great place to breathe. And then carefully bring yourself back down. Use your body parts to keep you stable. Coming back through center, take a deep breath in. Exhale out, other side. So pressing down through the left side just kind of tells my body which side is going to be lifting up. And then you want to bring your right hand in toward the body. Slowly start to peel up, stretching that other side, bending the right knee, bringing that knee toward the ceiling and dropping it down. And maybe you're here, maybe your head is down. Maybe you're reaching your arm up. And maybe you want more, so you're internally rotating and getting a bind. Keep that activation in the left leg, or maybe you're stretching over. Wherever you are, another breath. And carefully coming back down through center, using your right hand, so pressing down to help support your body, coming back down, take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Now I want you to push up to plank from here if you can. So plank or tabletop. So plankers. You're pushing up to plank. Hands come kind of top of sort of your rib cage and maybe a little bit out, but then squeeze those elbows in, curl the toes under, activate the legs first. So get super strong in the legs, and then you're gonna bring everything toward the midline and pop up. I'm not, but you are at home. I'm gonna go through tabletop, but remember everything in toward the midline regardless. Coming up through our tabletop or plank, and then pressing up to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale out, lifting your right leg up, bringing your knee to your nose, and then we're moving into half pigeon. So placing your right ankle behind your left wrist, right knee behind your right wrist, carefully coming down into the half pigeon. This is a great place for blocks. Placing that under the right hip to bring the earth to you. And then from there, making sure that left leg is straight out of the hip socket. And then press up on your fingertips and get a little more length. And if it's in your practice, you can move into sleeping pigeon, which is where we fold forward. But you want this to really be restorative. So if this is a lot of strain for you, consider doing figure 4 on your back. You want to just make sure that you can feel an opportunity to surrender. Keep breathing here. Show those hips some love. One more deep breath. And exhale out. As you come up and wake up your sleeping pigeons, bringing your hands back toward the body and then taking an opportunity to get another bit of length before either pressing up and curling the toes under, moving the right foot to meet the left. Maybe go back to your downward facing dog, or maybe just kind of spin on the hips and stay low. I'm going to do a little bit of a counter here. And coming back down, moving into the other side, however you want to get there. For me, I had a little bit of trouble there, but we're moving into the left side. So your left knees behind your left wrist, your left ankles behind your right wrist, right leg extends directly out from the hip socket. Maybe you bring a prop here, a pillow, a blanket, a block. Pressing down, you can even press down on your knee, stretching up, and then folding forward into that sleeping pigeon. 3 to 5 breaths here, really sink in. Again, find an opportunity to surrender. Surrender to the moment. Surrender to being here now. When you're ready, again, pressing down through the palms, bringing the hands back, taking a moment to get that extra little bit of sip of length, and then moving back through the same way that you transitioned before. So I'm going to move back through my downward facing dog, bending the knee, getting just a little bit of a counter here, and then coming back through downward facing dog, and then find your way to a seat. So you can go as simply as just coming to the knees, pressing hips to heels, moving to the side, whatever you want to do to get to the floor. So I put a Savadakasana, but that's not what I meant. So stretch both legs out in front of you. So Dandasana, feeling energy in the legs, locating those sits bones, soft shoulders. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, soft sigh. Nice. So we're gonna actually grab our right foot. So bring your right knee into the chest and have your foot flat on the floor. And then you want to sort of clasp the inside of your right, take your left hand, clasp the inside of the right arch of your foot, and then extend it out. Now, if this is not accessible to you, this is a great place for a strap. You can use a strap here as well, or you can just sort of do aiming toward. So you can do the upper body and just leave your leg sort of in this place. So if you can, clasp the left arch and then stretch that leg out, and then twisting open so right arm extends back, shoulders are soft. 2 breaths here. Just a different form of getting a little twist at the end. Showing some love to the spine, and then gently coming back forward and kind of bringing your leg back down, stretching it back out to the left, little thank you legs. And then we'll move to the other side. So bring that left knee into the chest, left foot's flat on the floor. Testing this out to kind of see where you are. Right hand clasps the inside. Maybe you could even do sort of your toe, and then stretching that leg out straight. And then when you have that, consider twisting open. Let's do 2 breaths here. Expanding that chest, kind of getting that same feel that we had in the shoulder opener. A little bit of that IT stretch. 1 more breath. And coming back through center, bringing your leg back down, stretching it back out to meet the right, little shake. Very nice. And move into Paschimottanasana. So taking your, staying in our Dandasana legs, and then inhale both arms up. And then again, great place for a strap, lengthening up and then folding forward. As you fold forward, remember it's not about folding in half to look as flat as your yoga mat. So getting length in that spine and lifting. I always say the first thing to think about with folds is lift and lengthen. Take 2 more good breaths here, maybe using your strap, maybe have your toes, maybe your knees are bent. If your knees are bent, you can still really get a lot of elongated, a lot of length in the spine. Actually, potentially even more so. I get a really great stretch when my knees are bent. 1 more breath. Nice. And just because, let's bring the knees into Baddha Konasana because apparently my body was calling for that before. This is a great place for props as well. Now, if you are fortunate enough to have maybe a couple pillows to help lift yourself up, and if you're one of those wonderful people that puts a blanket underneath their rear end to sort of lift them up to get the strain out of their lower back, go for it. Use all the props around you in the world. And what I'd also like you to do is if you have something like a block to potentially put in front of you to make this a little bit more restorative, that would be great. So we're gonna sort of use your hands to kind of pull the soles of your feet apart like a book, if you've ever heard that before. And that really opens the chest. And then think length again, and then folding forward. And as you fold forward, if you have your block there, you can make this restorative by placing your head on the block. And that takes all the pressure kind of out of your spine. And you can really drop in. I guess I should say out of your cervical spine. We're resting on props and blocks. That's what really makes the postures restorative, when the muscle groups don't have to do the work themselves. So this is me holding my head up, and then I get a much different benefit when the block is holding me up. I think it's a really nice message about, what's it like to have support, and that it's okay to ask for help and to be supported. It takes the pressure off. And we all need to remember that that's okay. Let's do 1 more breath here in this nice restorative Baddha Konasana pose. And then when you're ready, gently come off your props and blocks and supports. You can gently bring your knees together. If you're not already on the long ways of your mat, find your way there, and then just gently come back onto your back. Bring your knees with you and hug them in tight. Maybe you take this opportunity to say some really loving words to yourself. Honoring what you need, who you are, where you are, and all the parts of you. And you can release your hands and sort of loosen the grip on those, the love grip you had on your knees. And then extend your legs up, straight up from the hip socket. You can kind of do like a flex point, or whatever your feet are comfortable doing, do that. And we're going to move into plow pose if it's in your practice. If plow is not in your practice, I recommend just sort of staying here in this kind of waterfall. You can also put your arms up at the same time and then sort of release them down into their sockets. So your hips kind of come in, your arms kind of drop into your shoulders, in what we call dead bug pose. It's really nice and restorative. But if plow is in your practice, I'm going to place your palms down next to you like we did in bridge pose earlier, and then you're going to gently press back, and you're going to take your feet behind you so that they land behind you. Now if your feet don't get all the way there, it's okay to try. Just keep your neck straight and don't look at me. Just look straight before you start this. So pressing back. You don't want to go too fast. You don't want to get too much momentum because you want to kind of feel out where you need to be. Maybe your feet touch down. Keep breathing here. Talk about a change in perspective, right? And if deaf yogis in your practice can really intensify the desensitization, scenario, and actually drop your knees, close your eyes, and sort of cover your ears. Really cool. Wherever you are, take a couple more breaths. I'm going to come back and meet my friends in waterfall. Those that are in plow, gently come back super slowly down, vertebra by vertebra. And when we kind of all get to where we are in waterfall, we will also bring our legs down carefully. You can bend your knees and come down nice and easy. Take a moment of constructive rest, so feet to the width of your mat, knees come in for just a moment, and let your lower back sort of come off the floor, and just feel that for a second. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, soft sigh. And gently bring your knees into the chest one more time. Squeeze them in tight. And then when you're ready, relax and release into your Shavasana pose. Allowing Shavasana to be the ultimate surrender of this hour-long journey together. Palms facing up, hips gently rotating to the outside. If you have a blanket nearby, I highly recommend taking the blanket and placing it over your torso. This is an incredible way to continue to activate the parasympathetic nervous system and really tell your body that it's safe and it can go into rest and digest. It's a really great thing to add in Shavasana. Take a few more breaths here. I'll let you know when it's time to come back into the room. Take a really deep breath. Slowly introduce some movement into the body by wiggling your fingers and toes. And allowing that movement to ripple through the body very gently. Hands and feet start moving, arms and legs, maybe the head rocks side to side. And when you're ready, you can gently bring those knees into the chest, squeeze them again, and then rolling onto your side, just pick whatever side is calling you. And when you're there, make your hands like a little pillow. And then I want you to take the deepest breath you've taken all class. Inhale. Exhale. Using your top hand to press yourself up to a seated position, try to keep your eyes closed, knowing that you have been operating in this space unencumbered and it's safe to come up. Placing your hands on your palms, soft shoulders, but nice long spine. Remember your intention. Remember why you came to the mat today. And know that together, as we practiced, we helped each other seal those intentions. It was truly an honor to be a part of your day and guide you this evening. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, thumbs to our third eye. Exhale, we bow together, namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. It was wonderful practicing with you tonight. I hope you enjoyed this and you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.